federal government to ensure that pipeline protection contracts are no longer awarded to militants. They add that there has been a trend of surveillance contracts being awarded to individuals and entities with a history of militant activity against the Nigerian state. According to the group, quote, such decision not only compromise national security, but also risk empowering these individuals to further arm themselves, thereby perpetuating violence and instability in the country, end quote. They are now asking the government to urgently address this issue. Joining us in the studio is the General Secretary, Civil Society Coalition for Mandate Protection, CSC MEP, Popoola Ajayi. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Now, perhaps there is a background to this decision that you might want to tell us and our viewers, because the government in its own wisdom thought it wise, because it knew the government must have had their background checks on all of these persons and decided that perhaps they were in good stead to protect the pipelines. And there are those who have come out to say that we've been seeing results after handing over this contract to these persons, especially with the protection of pipelines. So what is the story that Nigerians do not know about?
There's no story Nigerians do not know about, but only that we seem to hear an act of what we choose to believe. You know, the issue of pipeline vandalization, even federal government infrastructure vandalization, and what have you, is not new to us. Mm-hmm. And of course, it got to a head when some people started, you know, the Avengers and what have you, deliberately, you know, decided to take on the Nigerian state, you know, to vandalize the pipeline. Okay. But added to the vandalization is oil theft. Mm. I think you understand. Yeah. So we have two things rolled together. Perhaps at some point, some government officials thought that you only use thief to catch thief, you know, as a matter of exigency then when...
we must be careful with our choice of words.
No, it's a proverb, it's a Yoruba proverb.
Okay. It's a Yoruba... So it's better you put it that way, like it's a Yoruba proverb, so that we can understand. There are rules guiding our conversation on air.
Yes, I know it's a Yoruba proverb that a thief is better place to catch another thief. Okay. That is, it's only a thief that can identify the footpath of another thief on the rock. I think understand. So maybe they thought, okay, the best thing to do is, you know, all these restless, consciously, seemingly restless youths, you know, then, you know, engaging the federal government. Of course, there has been agitation, you know, for self-determination resource control, you know, started by Ken Saro-Wiwa and people like late Ronto Douglas and the rest of them, you know, agitating for resource control. Then, of course, some elements now join, you know, the struggle, you know, and started with kidnapping of foreigners. Then, after kidnapping, then they started vandalization of pipelines. And it got to a point that our oil production dropped and what have you. Then, in order to, you know, get a kind of a palliative, which to some of us shouldn't be a permanent thing, you know, got some of these people who are involved in the vandalization, kidnapping, and the crisis in the Niger Delta then on board, you know, but, you know, for the protection of the pipelines. Then oil theft at the same time. Of course, one aspect has reduced, as in terms of pipeline vandalization and what have you, has reduced, but oil theft continue. But the issue here...
Is it in the same magnitude as it used to be before they came on board?
Well, unfortunately, NNPC has no data. We don't even have the accurate data of our production per day or our export and earning. So everything is dependent on, you know, a third party. So I will leave that. So, but of course, generally,
I asked that because I asked that because you should have background information on that.
No, you can say that, okay, from the news we were hearing and the reforms being carried out by this present administration. Yeah. Of course, we know that our oil production has increased. It's going up. And then we want that to continue.
Definitely.
And then, so why our own intervention here now is that, okay, fine. When you engage these militants, and it's like empowering them the more, like what happened at Okwama, these killings of, you cannot remove the hand of these people from.
Do you have evidence about that?
No. What we are saying is this: if we talk about armed proliferation, Abi, so. And, a part of these people are the one, guiding the pipeline. So it does mean that there is no end to it. You are empowering them to acquire more arms. And, of course, we know that some of the characters involved have engaged in armed conflicts against some people along that axis. So we are not even before. So if such a thing happens now, it does mean that they are better. It's just like if Nigerian police or Nigerian army has an issue with a particular entity. So they are covered, in the name of doing their work to carry out, whatever they want to carry out. So, but what we are saying is this, okay, engage professionals. Then it's not just about protection of pipeline now. Community engagement, security, is all embedded into it because all these pipelines pass through, communities. Right. I think that's time. So rather than say, okay, somebody will start from one end to the other end, there are communities here. The authorities, that is NNPC and this agency, engaging these people properly. The communities along the pipeline infrastructure and even all the government infrastructure across the country. So rather than, giving to ex-militants, there are professional organizations, although there are professionals handling the same protection today.
Absolutely.
Like I think pipeline.
No, Tantita is the one he's talking against.
No, the pipeline.
Against.
No, he has actually not mentioned Tantita. Or do you think?
No, I'm not mentioning Tantita, but I just wanted to mention the pipeline.
The professionals that are handling, the protection of pipelines. Tantita, he's saying, are not professionals.
They are ex-militants. Yeah. That's what we are saying.
Okay, but then, looking at the contract of the pipeline surveillance that the federal government went into with Tantita, the 48 billion naira, per year of a thing, they've actually recorded some gains. One of it was the empty, Kali that vessel that was arrested, and so many other things. There was a time they actually had a brawl with the Navy when they were throwing, accusations here and there. But they have actually recorded so many gains. So why the grouse?
The grouse is very consistent. That, okay, have they been able to divest themselves of their, initial intention? And of course, we've had some of these people who have engaged, like I said, some communities along the pipeline before. So, but even what we are saying is that, okay, even up to the southwest here, another part of the country. So for God's sake, okay, if the federal government decide their own wisdom, to continue with them, but what we are saying is that allow other professionals to, to be added into it. And shouldn't just be...
Really, why? The question is, why should other professionals be part of it if they are recording gains already for the federal government?
Okay. It's like, let me use, initially, this thing was being handled by civil defense.
Okay.
Of course, they were recording successes too, but not at the magnitude expected.
Good.
I think you understand. So, and that was why they came in. They are putting on their best. But what we are saying that the best is not enough.
But did they move it from where it was when the NSCDC used to, man this, the surveillance of the pipeline?
Nothing is static.
No, did they actually?
No, nothing is static. Nothing is static in life.
Okay.
Nothing is static in life. In fact, whether it is being protected or not, it will get to a point, and that is what we are saying, that even some of these things, if the communities takes ownership, communities along all this infrastructure, whether it is road, whether it is a pipeline, whether it is whatever, are engaged to see this thing as their own thing. And, the protection, the security will be the concern of everybody.
But so these people that you mentioned that the CSOs are against, they're also part of the community. So it's the same thing you're saying, that the community should, take it as their own, because these militants that you're referring to, and then you said one thing, you said the NNPC does not have a data, whereas you also said that the private companies, or let's say the militants, the ex-militants, whose private companies got this award from the federal government, they also have the opportunity to energize themselves by getting more arms and causing problems, which you also referred to Okwama, which she tried to not make you make some unfounded accusations in that regard. But they need these arms to also fight oil theft. Do you not think so?
Yes, I'm not arguing with you that they need it. But what we are saying is that if you are armed and you move around my surroundings, the day I have issues with you, besides your original purpose of being here, I'll be disadvantaged. That's what we are saying.
Yeah, but we've seen those who legitimately handle these, who legitimately wield these arms, like the Nigerian army, having face of issues with civilians, which is not supposed to be. Right. So, do you not feel that is not enough excuse?
No. It's different here. It's different.
We'll talk about the difference when we return from the break. Do stay with us.
Leaders constantly seek opportunities to reflect, reskill, and re-strategize for peak performance. That is why we invite all senior leaders in the public and private sectors for the ultimate leadership experience at the Dr. Abiola Salami International Leadership Bootcamp, holding in Mombasa, Kenya, from June 23rd to 29th, with the theme Driving Transformational Leadership with the Magic of Emotional Intelligence. This exclusive opportunity will expose senior leaders to a premium learning experience, a global faculty from Harvard University, daily relaxation schedule, luxury beach, and wildlife tours as they network with other global leaders. Don't miss out on this chance to engage and rejuvenate with thrilling activities in the scenery of Mombasa. Register before June 7th, 2024 to secure your spot. For inquiries, punch us an email on hello@abiolachamp.com. You can call us on +234 909 123 4567. DASIL is powered by Champ, a global leader in driving a culture of peak performance.
We don't like to eat better, more nutritious meals, more veggies, but we want it tasty and easy too. Knorr Cubes, that's the secret. Made with real ingredients like chicken, parsley, and garlic, and enriched with iron, so your meals are better for you and more delicious too. That's the cocoa. Let's give it some accolades. Change your world by changing what's on your plate.
On my dark marks, I've tried everything. Nivea Lumina 630 works from day one with visible results in just 2 weeks and 71% dark marks reduction in 12. Join the 1 million women already using Lumina 630 from Nivea.
Thank you for staying with us. Before we went on the break, we were speaking with Popoola Ajayi on the matter of pipeline vandalism and protection, rather. And he, being the General Secretary, Civil Society Coalition for Mandate Protection, CSC MAP, is saying that they are against this contract between the federal government and ex-militants protecting pipelines and as it is. And before we went on the break, my colleague here was talking about they needing the arms to protect the pipelines because you were saying that as a people, you are disadvantaged, especially because you do not have weapons as it is. And then he also tried to bring the correlation between perhaps the military wielding weapons and also trying to protect the people. And you said it is different. So I want us to begin from that point of what makes it different from your perspective as it is. Then we'll move further to other issues.
The army or police or whatever, professionally trained, to protect the people. So you have reasons, you have law. In fact, all if they have disagreement and act out of their, mandates, you have law to hold them, So is that no, you have outbound. You have stepped
out of bounds.
Your bounds.
Yeah.
That no, this is not your consumer responsibility. Of course, even some of the successes you are recording, we know that there are besides the company you mentioned, there are others like Pipeline Infrastructure Nigerian Limited. In fact, I can even tell you for free that most of the successes that you are referring to were recorded by those other the professionals handling the pipeline protection.
Not Tantita, as it is.
Not as you want us to believe that they are the only one.
I'm not the one. It's the report out there. So you're making it. No, that's the report out there that they made those.
No,
they actually give account.
They gave account
well,
of it.
We are not holding brief for Tantita.
Anybody.
Nobody knows anyone who works with Tantita. But the thing is, when you make, when you communicate to the people what to do, and then you put out all of the things, all of the
evidence to proof,
and that
to back up
you gain
what you said you have done.
Definitely, you gain prominence among the people, and all other pipeline surveillance, companies. We don't really hear much about them.
As strategy differs, some are doing. It's not like
strategy without communication.
No. You see, do the work perfectly. Do the report. You can go to NNPC to check these things. Some of them will
you
not.
said NNPC has no data.
No, wait. Some of them will not necessarily make noise. And you know that sometimes you make noise, to cover up some other things. So to say, okay, we are doing this, we are doing that. Meanwhile, there are other things we are doing, but we are not here for that.
So I want to believe that they are working hand in glove as it is to ensure that the pipelines are protected. So what is now important? Yeah.
What is important? What is important here is this. There should be clear line of demarcation between what they are engaged to do and where they do it matters.
Okay.
Where they do it matters. Okay, if, for instance, I'm a Westerner, for instance, I'm a Yoruba man, for instance. You don't expect me to go and protect pipeline in maybe far away Port Harcourt or whatever, because one, I'm not...
you do not understand the terrain.
The terrain. Right. I don't understand the people.
You are not from the community.
I'm not from the community. So, and I cannot engage even the people. That's the key. That's the key word here. That's the key thing here, whereby you give contract because they are former this, they are former that, and because they have an arm, to bully people and what have you. Then neglecting other interests, other people, the community interests. So that's the issue. That's the issue per se.
That's the main issue. That's
the main issue. That's the main issue.
So if I recall that you said, sorry to cut you short, if I recall that you said earlier that the communities are the one that can better police the pipeline, which you're referring to. But if you recall what the Chief of Naval Staff is saying, Christopher Musa, saying that, I think I lost that. He said when the Nigerian army, goes there to destroy the pipelines and all of that, the community also collaborates with these, oil thieves to bring up all these, pipelines and oil thefts, all their infrastructure and all of that. So they do that in collaboration with the communities.
No.
So does that not negate
No,
your
it didn't. I also spoke about community engagement. You cannot just come all the way from Abuja and say, okay, you want to destroy this, you want to destroy that. We talk about understanding the terrain. We talk about engaging the people, understanding the people, understanding their thinking, their psyche. So you can't just come all the way from anywhere and say you will destroy this. If you destroy A, you don't know what is involved. You don't know why they are doing that. I think you understand. So that is why we are saying that, okay, give to professionals that are, are located in some area. They will know how to engage their people, to know that, for them to know that, okay, even the illegal refining of this thing, the disadvantage is more than the gains, in terms of destruction of the environment. Mm-hmm. So if you know that, you're going to destroy your farmland, your rivers
but
and water.
In
the language they understand.
But the government has been speaking to those issues of the matter of illegal refineries and the level of destruction it causes. Are we saying we've not been speaking in the language they understand, that it is until we engage people from those communities that they will understand what the destruction they're causing is to the environment and even themselves?
Of course, that's exactly what I'm saying. That it is the people, that understand themselves. So
the flooding and all of the issues they are facing, they're still not understanding that it is as effect of their own activities.
They will not understand. They will think that it is caused by one God or the other or something.
Their community leaders who have been engaging with government means they have not been going back to speak to the people. That's what you're saying, invariably.
Maybe, because if you talk to the leaders alone, and of course, in all communities, we have different CSOs. The one we are leading, for instance, is composed of different organizations. I think you understand. So there are some people who go to government in the name of the community. What is important to them is to just get whatever they want, get contract from government, sit down with the state capital, the federal capital, then neglect thinking that the people, the grassroots, their own contribution does not matter. And that is why we still have a whole lot of problems, bedeviling our own polity here.
So bottom line for this conversation is that government should look into these matters of engaging locals who are professionals when it comes to securing the pipelines as it is. Well, we'll leave the conversation there. Popoola Ajayi, General Secretary, Civil Society Coalition for Mandate Protection. Thank you for your time on the program.
Thank you.
Great. Still to come on TVC Breakfast, the NNPC and petroleum marketers remain at loggerheads over cause